Hey guys, this is Taking the Over with your host, me, Jeff Perkins. This podcast is brought to you today by 21st Finance. 21st Finance is your home for everything from sports betting, personal finance, investing, and cryptocurrency. Be sure to check us out at 21stfinance.com and follow us on Twitter at 21st_finance for the latest blogs, videos, and content relating to anything that involves money. Without further ado, let's do this. Friday, August 31st, 2018. This is your boy JP, and this is episode 36 of Taking the Over. Happy Friday. Hope you guys are having a great morning. Hopefully I can make your Friday morning commute a little bit better with the smooth, sensual words coming from my beautiful voice. Thanks for coming back, guys. Another episode is here. Of course, yes, today's episode, we will have Jared and Gunnar on the conference call. We will be talking about things that make us mad. Couple other things too. I actually created a couple little segments, with it being fantasy football season, a lot of drafting, a lot of auctions, a lot of people are picking those teams. And yes, I did say it. Football season is back, baby. Football season is back with a vengeance. We actually had a couple good games last night's action. Northwestern actually ended up beating Purdue. A couple other games, a couple ranked teams were playing. Is awesome. Lots of football to come this weekend. Michigan, Notre Dame, Washington, Auburn. We got LSU, Miami, Virginia Tech, Florida State on that Monday night Labor Day game. So much to be excited for. Yes, guys, football is back. And as always, let's get right to the segment, Three Angry Men with me, Jared, and Gunnar. Welcome back to the program, guys. Episode 36, I believe. Yeah, 36 of Taking the Over. Joined on the phone.
Bettis.
What's that, Gunnar?
Jerome Bettis.
Yeah, you're right. Jerome Bettis episode.
It's the perfect square.
The perfect square.
Wow.
As always, I got the boys on the phone. Jared and Gunnar, welcome back, guys. How's it going today?
Not bad, JP. Not bad.
Jared, how you doing?
I'll be honest, guys. I haven't gotten through all of episode 35 because I listened to the beginning of it and I started to tear up a little bit. You guys were really going after me.
Yeah, we were hitting you hard. I mean, you kind of deserved it, but...
I don't know if I really did, but I don't want to get into that.
What happens when you don't show up to work, Jared? You didn't show up to work last week.
Yeah, well, my paycheck's a little late too then, apparently.
Ooh.
Oh, that's a good point. Before I get started, I'll probably talk about in the intro of this episode. I started doing another podcast with the website, which is called Picks with JP. I don't know, you guys haven't listened to it, but listeners out there, I have started doing that. So I know a lot of you guys are big into sports gambling and football and stuff. That's going to be solely just sports betting picks and how I analyze them. So any of you Taking the Over listeners, you're listening right now. Picks with JP, all your football picks. But all right, guys, so let's get started today. First thing, boys, fantasy football draft. We had our draft the other night. How'd you guys think you drafted?
I thought my team was decent. It was hard. I was the 10th pick out of 10. All the good running backs are obviously, all the big-name running backs are gone, so that kind of sucks. But I think I did a pretty decent job. I thought Eric did phenomenal. I don't know. What do you think, Jared?
I don't really even want to get into Eric. To be honest, today's Thursday? Today is my first day after work this week not having a fantasy draft. So I am worn out. I had one Monday night, Tuesday night, Thursday night, and I stayed for all of the picks for all three of them. So I'm pretty burnt out. I don't even remember who's on my team in the league that I'm in with you guys. I guess Gunnar, I'm in 2 leagues with you.
Yep.
But
what's the other league you guys are in?
It's a good time of year. It's a lot of fun.
What's the other league you guys are in?
Oh, the GOAT game. It's Nick, Weston, Debo.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, and then I'm in another one with my MBA people.
Jeez, Jerry, you're so popular. 3 fantasy leagues? Holy moly.
I have 3 leagues too, and the first league I was the 8th pick out of 8. Second league I was 11th out of 12th, and the third league I was 10th out of 10.
Huh.
Kind of got shafted.
My fantasy football thing this year is I'm all about the rookies.
You have been in the past.
I have.
You have a soft spot for the rookies.
I've always been a rookies guy. 2 leagues I'm in. Both I think were 10-team leagues. I was pick number 5 in both. Well, I got Saquon Barkley in both. I got the DJ Moore guy in both, I'm pretty sure. I got a lot of rookies. And I think in our league I have like 5 maybe. So literally 5 of my 12 players are rookies. It's crazy.
What? Say I'm assuming Saquon was your first pick in both leagues.
Yeah, he was. And then I also had T.Y. Hilton in both leagues.
I think that's a really bad strategy, Jeff. Honestly, to double up on people in leagues. Like, I know that's kind of like your inclination, because if you picked him in one, you like that player, you're likely to pick him in another. But you got to like hedge your bets. I think you got to, because like who knows what happens to Saquon.
I mean, if you're gonna sink in one league, don't sink in both.
That's my thought process. So for all 3 leagues, I tried to get a pretty wide variety of players, even though I caught myself wanting to draft the same players in each league.
Well, and I
You
know
drafted Sammy Watkins twice in both leagues. I remember that.
And I know, like you're not like I understand that strategy of like you take different players between different leagues or whatever. But like my 5th pick,
That's not your style, JP.
well, no, it's not my style. But the other thing too is like with that 5th pick, I feel like there's those 4 like super elite running backs in the league. I feel like you know what I mean. And then like Saquon has that ability to be maybe that 5th guy, because I feel like after Saquon the running backs kind of dropped off a little bit. So I was like, I need like a 30 touches a game kind of running back, and I feel like there's only 5 of them in the league at this point, anyways.
Yeah, he's definitely gonna get them.
So, okay, so before we get talking about things that make us mad, we'll get onto that. And Jared, you also want to do whose life would you rather have, correct?
Yeah, but so far I'm only halfway there. I only have one person, so
Okay.
that's hard to do the game when you only have one option. But
Okay.
we'll see if something comes up. But let's roll with it.
Okay, so listeners, with it being fantasy season, I'm super big into the picks, and like in some leagues they do like the auctions where you have a certain amount of money and stuff like that. So I actually came up with 2 little segments for today's episode of certain things we would draft on a football perspective, but also on a real life perspective at the same time. So Jared, Gunnar, you guys got the list in front of you that I sent you?
Yep.
Okay, so the first one we're going to do is you're an NFL team. Let's just say you're a GM of your favorite team, and you have to build an offense with $15, correct? And you guys, and everybody's seen these. Bleacher Report does them every now and then too. They'll be like, build a starting 5 with $15, and like LeBron will be $5, and like Kevin Durant will be a $5 player or whatever. So we're going to do this with an NFL version then, okay? So for the first one, building an offense, we have quarterback, halfback, wide receiver, tight end, and offensive line. For quarterback, Aaron Rodgers is $5, Drew Brees is $4, Russell Wilson is $3, Deshaun Watson is $2, and Baker Mayfield is $1. For halfback, Todd Gurley is a $5, Alvin Kamara is a $4, Leonard Fournette is a $3, Tevin Coleman is a $2, and modern day Adrian Peterson is a $1. So when I talk about these players, we're not saying in their prime, because obviously AP in his prime would be a $5. We're talking AP today, Washington Redskins AP. So wide receivers, $5 I have Antonio Brown, $4 I have Odell Beckham, $3 I have Michael Thomas from the Saints, $2 I have Cooper Kupp from the Los Angeles Rams, and then Pierre Garçon is $1, and he's, I think, the number 1 receiver for the 49ers, correct, Jer?
He is.
Okay.
He is.
Yep.
Okay, and then the next one, and then the offensive line. So everybody knows the Dallas Cowboys probably have the best O-line in the league. They're a $5 offensive line. The Steelers probably have a top 6 or 7, maybe top 5 offensive line. They're a $4 offensive line. The 49ers are kind of middle of the road offensive line. They're $3. They have like one good left tackle in Joe Staley. He was one of the top left tackles last year. And then for $2 and $1, the Houston Texans were $2. They have one of the worst rated offensive lines in the league. I mean, they are abysmal, but they were healthy too, though. They didn't give up a lot of sacks, but their run protection they had was terrible. And then the $1 offensive line was the Indianapolis Colts O-line from last season. So a lot of people talk about, the Colts offensive line gave up the most sacks last year. Jacoby Brissett, yes, Luck didn't play last year, but Jacoby Brissett got sacked all the time. So yeah, with $1, the Colts would be the worst offensive line. So while you guys think about that, I'll give you what I picked for this. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So for my 4. Okay. So what I did for my 4, my quarterback, I did Aaron Rodgers at $5. I think, whatever team you give him, he has a terrible offensive line anyways. He's got middle of the road receivers, and he literally has a running back or a wide receiver as his running back. I'm taking Aaron Rodgers $5. Halfback, I'm taking Tevin Coleman, $2. Tevin Coleman's got a lot of speed. He's a great receiving running back. And I feel like in today's NFL, a lot of running backs, they have to run the ball, but you see so many more like a Kamara where they're splitting them out wide. You know, they're running swings, they're running screens, they're always catching the ball. So I feel like Tevin Coleman's one of those guys that you give him a Rodgers who can get him in space, you know, with his good throws. I think Tevin Coleman could definitely thrive. And then my wide receiver, I actually did.
One.
What's that?
Wait, you sent us a list and you didn't have one.
I actually didn't have one, but I actually have one picked out now. So for my wide receiver, yeah, I didn't actually have it on this list. I meant to change it. I'm actually doing Cooper Kupp, though, at wide receiver. I think Cooper Kupp, he'd be great in the slot. I mean, you have Aaron Rodgers. Cooper Kupp's like a shifty, fast, white wide receiver that could play for the Patriots or the Packers. Gunnar, you know as well as I do what Rodgers can do with a white wide receiver. You know exactly what he can do with a white wide receiver.
Not denying that.
Not denying that. You know, he could be a Jordy Nelson type. You never know. I just think it all starts with Rodgers, so I would take Cooper Kupp for $2. And then at tight end, I'm also taking George Kittle for $2. Jared, we talked about him in our fantasy draft. You were really high on him too, weren't you?
Well, actually, you were. I'm pretty sure because you like meant to draft him, and you were drafting and driving your car to work, and if we were like in the the 15th round or something, I was looking for a backup tight end. I think you accidentally clicked the wrong button.
I did.
And you're like, damn it, I meant to click George Kittle. I'm like, oh, and I picked right behind Jeff. I'm like, oh, well, then I'll take him, I guess. Jeff probably knows better than I do, so.
Yeah, I got to think drafting and driving is not a very safe thing to do.
Yeah, you should really warn the listeners to not draft and drive. That's probably not good.
Oh, no, yeah, it was terrible. And like, imagine if you started your draft at the beginning when you're driving, when it's like actually more serious, Then you definitely
actually, Jeff, I want to recap on what you were actually doing. You were drafting, driving, talking on the phone to me, and at the same time, you're also writing a message in the message board draft league. So you were doing just about as many distractive things as you could do driving your damn truck through downtown Des Moines. So.
Oh man. And then so yeah, that was probably the dumbest thing I've done all week. But then my last pick to finish up my fantasy draft of $15. I said the Steelers offensive line. I think to me personally, I think the biggest in today's NFL, the two biggest pieces to success on an offense are the offensive line and the quarterback. So obviously I spent more money on those. And yeah, I mean, if you have a good offensive line to protect Rodgers, because I mean, you saw what happened to the Packers last year when Rodgers got hurt. And I mean, with a good offensive line, they're going to help him avoid a lot of those hits too. So for my final $15 that I spent on guys, Aaron Rodgers $5 at quarterback, Tevin Coleman $2 at running back, Cooper Kupp wide receiver $2, George Kittle tight end for $2, and then the Steelers O-line for $4. So with that being said, guys, Jared, Gunnar, whichever one of you guys got it figured out first, what are you guys taking with $15?
Gunnar, are you ready?
I think I'm ready, but I'll let you go.
Okay, I'll go first. And like you said, Jeff, this is current in their players in their current state and age and everything, right?
Correct. Yep, correct.
Okay, so I would like to take Rodgers because he is the best in the league, but I think Russell Wilson is a steal for the money of $3.
Okay.
Because I like Russell Wilson's future.
So question before you keep going, Jared. Do you think me putting Russell Wilson at 3 is kind of underrating him a little bit?
I think a little bit. I mean, that's why I'm taking him. Just because I think that's a steal. But,
okay. Yep. All right, you keep going then.
So that's $3. I have Gurley, Kamara, Fournette, Tevin Coleman, Adrian Peterson. I'll take Kamara. I thought the way that the NFL is shifting towards these small running backs, he was like so much fun to watch. Mm-hmm. I think he's going to be a force in the league. I think he's like he looks like a better Christian McCaffrey.
Oh yeah.
And McCaffrey had a great year last year, but Kamara just looked like a better version of him, really.
Yeah.
So there's 7. So I have 8 left.
Yep.
I'll go Odell Beckham.
Okay.
Kind of the same thing there, with Russell Wilson. He's super young. He's currently rewriting the record books. If you would extrapolate all of his receiving records and stats right now, I think he averages like 98 receiving yards per game that he plays in, and that's better than any ever. So I take OBJ.
Okay.
So now I only have $4 left.
Yeah. Now you're getting into.
And so I think I only have one option from here. I think I have to take George Kittle for $2, and I take the Texans for $2.
Okay. So see, for me personally, like that Hayden Hurst guy, he was that first round tight end pick for the Ravens. Of those of you that don't know, So we don't know what he's going to be like. I mean, he could be a really good
What college was he out of?
South Carolina, I believe. So we don't really know how good.
Where did that big, tall Penn State guy go? Was he with Dolphins?
Yeah, Mike Gesicki went to the Dolphins.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but no, I see what you mean, Jared. The only thing that worries me is the Texans O line because they are very bad. I mean,
they really?
They're terrible.
I know that I could imagine that the Colts are bad. I don't know a lot about the Texans O line. I probably know less than you do, but
well, I did a Pro Football Focus, like they do like the PFF rankings or whatever, and they do like by position groups too. So like I think like like running backs, I think like the Saints had the number 1 running back group or whatever, for example, and like obviously the Cowboys. I think the Cowboys had the number 1 offensive line ranking last year too. But yeah, I'm pretty sure to Pro Football Focus, I think the Texans were 31st last year in ranking.
Oh, wow. Well, maybe the only way I can justify it is Russell Wilson's so athletic and nifty in the pocket that who even knows if – I mean, obviously Seattle's got a terrible offensive line, but he makes do with them, so hopefully in my little scenario here he'd do well with a crappy O-line again. But.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, well, cool. So you got your picks in. Gunnar, what do you got then?
All right. Mine all revolves around my quarterback, and I'm taking Aaron Rodgers.
Good.
Okay. Running back, I'm taking Adrian Peterson, 1 point.
Okay, the old man.
Rodgers has never had a running back. He doesn't need one. Okay?
That's true.
Fair.
That's actually
very fair.
Wide receiver, give me the best in the league. Give me Antonio Brown. Rodgers to Brown, you're not stopping it.
That'd be dangerous.
Okay? Now I'm at 11. Tight end. Give me Hayden Hurst for 1. When does Rodgers really throw to the tight end?
He had a little thing going with Jared Cook when Jared Cook played.
Yeah, okay. Give me one no-name tight end when we're in the divisional round against the Cowboys. That's all we need. I just need one spectacular catch out of my tight end for the entire season. So give me Hayden Hurst. Offensive line, give me the Niners for 3. It's better than the Packers.
Yep. An average offensive line. Yeah.
And now you have the souped-up Packers. So that's my team. Rodgers, Peterson, Antonio Brown, Hayden Hurst with the Niners line.
Do you think AP would thrive in the Packers system, or do you think it'd just be whatever, and then it'd just be
Can he really catch out of the backfield?
No, not at all. No, he's
probably not.
But I'll tell you this much. I can kind of picture you thinking Rodgers is going to throw to AB and Antonio Brown's going to have 2,000 receiving yards.
Pretty much, and probably 21 touchdowns.
So you're relying heavily on the pass game. You're straight just passing game with that offense for sure.
Yeah, I mean it's all around Rodgers. If you're going to have Rodgers, you might as well pass. You're not going to run the ball.
Yeah, I like that. Okay. All right, well, cool guys. That was actually a really good segment. Really, really good segment. Okay, so. That's the first fantasy draft, and I talked about I was going to have 2 of them. So are you guys ready for the second one now?
Absolutely.
Okay, so my second fantasy draft, it has nothing to do with football at all. It just has to do with a male's life as a whole. So because there's a wife aspect to this. So yeah. So anyways, so for $15 you have to build your life. And basically we got five categories to this. One of the categories is your community. Another one is the car that you drive. The third one is the job that you have. The fourth one is whoever your wife is. And then the fifth one is the health defect you have in life. So, for example, I'll go through the list. So, for community, it's the same thing, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's a $15 plan or whatever. For community, $5 is Beverly Hills. $4 is a nice suburb of Minneapolis. I just said Eden Prairie. It could be just any really nice suburb of a city. So, what's the one north of Chicago, Gunnar? That all your buddy Libertyville. So Libertyville would be a 4 as well, one of those nice suburbs.
We'll make it Evanston. That's really nice.
Okay, so Evanston is a 4. $3 Peoria, Illinois. Kind of a mid-tier city. It's kind of got its bad parts. It's also got some really nice parts. Just your average city of 100,000 people. And then $2 you have Esterville, Iowa. Small Iowa town.
Gunnar, is Jeff breaking up a little bit on your end or no? Is it just me?
Yeah, he is.
Really? Okay. All right. So I'll keep going. So for $2, Esterville, Iowa is part of the community. You guys can hear me, right?
Yeah, no, it's bad.
Okay, so $2, Esterville, Iowa is the community. Small Iowa town, kind of, it has its bad parts, it has its good parts. It's pretty much any small town in Iowa. And then $1, you have Flint, Michigan. And I don't think I have to explain Flint, Michigan to you guys at all.
No, what? You can't get any water there, so
Yeah, exactly.
Deal breaker.
Yeah, it's definitely a $1 thing. All right, and then for the second part of the community, like the second part of your life you want to build, it's the car you drive. So for $5, you drive a Lamborghini. For $4, you're driving a Mercedes. For $3, you're driving just your basic Toyota Camry, Honda Civic, your basic person car. For $2, you're driving a Ford Pinto. So, and I don't know if a Ford Pinto was a good option, but we're just saying like a total piece of junk car, basically. And then for $1,
can you make it like a 1994 Buick LeSabre?
Okay, we can do that, Gunnar. So for $2, it's a 1994 Buick LeSabre, and then $1 it's a bicycle. Okay, you can only ride a bicycle everywhere. You cannot use a car. And so then the third aspect of this is your job. So for $5, you're the CEO of your own business or your dream job. So whatever your dream job is, you basically get to do that every day. For $4, you're like a lawyer. So you have like a nice high paying job where you have a little bit of power and prestige to you. For $3, you're a teacher. It's like a pretty average job, like something requires a college degree. It's pretty rewarding. You get a lot out of it. Maybe not the best pay, but you get a lot out of it. For $2, you're a manager at a grocery store. So, a job you could probably get without a college degree. You're probably going to work a lot of weekends and stuff. And, it's going to have its things where you may have to work holidays. It's going to have its pains and headaches for sure. And then for $1, you have to work the night shift at Walmart. So you're working Christmas night. You're working New Year's Eve night. You're working Halloween. You're working every worst holiday. You're working 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. You're just working the worst shift possible at Walmart. Okay? The fourth category is your wife. So this is based upon what we think. I think us three think of looks-wise. I think you guys would probably agree with this rankings. So $5 is Blake Lively. Everybody knows what she looks like. She's one of the most beautiful women in Hollywood, obviously. And then for $4, we have Anne Hathaway. I think Anne Hathaway's pretty good looking, but she's not as good looking as Blake Lively, I would say. I don't know if you guys agree with me, but we're putting her at the $4 aspect. And then $3, you have Pink. You have the singer.
I don't know why. I just think it's like this is like putting a number next to a woman is just always kind of funny. But
yeah. I mean, this might piss a little people off talking about this, but it's part of the game. And then for $2, you have Adele, the famous singer. And then for $1, you have Rosie O'Donnell. And I don't think we have to.
Bad for like a number of reasons.
I don't think we have to describe Rosie O'Donnell why she's $1. Okay, then the fifth category, you have your health defect. So when I say health defect, you have to take one of these. So like you're gonna have this happen in your life. Like you're gonna live with this your entire life. So for $5, you're perfectly healthy, great head of hair, no cancer, no heart attacks, nothing. You live fine the rest of your life. For $4, you're bald, so you'll never have hair in your life. So Gunnar, me and you are kind of already onto that path, anyways.
Right.
And then $3 for $3, you're deaf, so you can never hear in your life. You're deaf your entire life for $3. For $2, you're blind, so you can never see. And then for $1, you have no legs, so you can never walk ever in your life. And I'll say this, just to avoid semantics, for the driving aspect, you're able to drive without legs, and the bicycle, you're able to ride the bicycle without semantics-wise. Okay, I know it doesn't make sense, but just pure semantics.
No, they make hand bikes.
Okay, so you ride a hand bike if you have no legs. Then, so this is what I took. For $2, I'm living in Esterville. Part of it, I've lived there before, whatever. But the reason why is because I'm trying to save money on the community thing. I'm not gonna live in Flint, Michigan, but at least in Esterville you can get clean water. At least there's places to eat, and there's a grocery store, and it's not like crime runs rampant in Esterville. I mean, so you can kind of make a somewhat decent life in Esterville. And then my job, I did my dream job. I mean, think about waking up every day and doing the thing you've wanted to do. You're you would never need a weekend. If you're doing your dream job every day, you'd be like, dude, every day is a weekend to me. So that's kind of why I took the dream job. You'd enjoy every day of your life. And then the vehicle, I said the Ford Pinto, but Gunnar said it's a 1994 Buick LeSabre. So I'm taking the Buick LeSabre for $2. I really don't think the car matters all that much to me either. It's whatever. It's a car. The wife might create a little controversy. It might. Maybe not. I took Adele for $2. I took
No
If you
way.
ask me, I think Adele's a bargain for $2. She could sing you to sleep.
Exactly.
At night. That's great.
Thank you. I mean, yeah, she may be a little thicker than usual, but she's not really that bad looking, I don't think.
I think she's pretty.
I think she's got a really pretty face, and she, like you said, she's got the voice of an angel.
Oh gosh.
But then the one I couldn't get, and part of the reason I took that is because of the last one. I did $4 bald. I'm sorry, I don't want to be deaf, I don't want to be blind, and I want to have a set of legs. I just, not being able to talk and not being able to see would just suck so bad. So yeah, so I guess my final list, my life, if I had to build a life of $15, I'd be living my dream job as the CEO of my company. I'd live in Esterville, driving a Buick LeSabre 1994, going home to my wife Adele with my bald head. So that is my life, boys. So I don't care which one of you goes first. What are you guys taking with your life?
All right, I'll just follow suit. I'll go next. I think I go. So you're saying I can pick any suburb of any major city?
No. I want to keep it to the list. It's Eden Prairie.
It's Eden Prairie.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, I guess I'll go with that. I'd have to go with Eden Prairie for $4.
Why is that?
I couldn't do Peoria, Illinois. I think I'll always try to be living next to a pretty major city. I like having more events going on and things like that. So I'll spend $4 on community.
Okay.
Jeff, I'm the same with you. I really care less about car. I'm almost tempted to go bicycle, but I know that's just really not realistic. So I'll go Ford Pinto as well. Isn't the Ford Pinto that car that, like, if they designed it in a way that even if someone tapped your bumper, it was like right next to the fuel tank and you like blew up and died though?
Yep, pretty much. It was like the worst rated car ever produced.
Yeah. Then like Ford put an actual dollar value on what they'd be willing to spend on a human, like they did a cost value analysis of what a human life actually costs and decide if it made business sense to make the engineering change or not.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
So I'm 4. So Eden Prairie, Ford Pinto, I'm at 6.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh. Can I spend $5? I don't know. I think.
What are you at right now? You're at 4. So you're able to spend 4.
I'm at 4 and 2. I'm at 6.
Yeah.
So I have what left? I have 9 left.
Yep.
Oh my gosh. No, I can't.
Makes you think a little bit, doesn't it?
And these jobs, Jeff, do these reflect like salary too? Like.
Yep.
Oh man. I'll go. I think I have to go lawyer. I think I'll go lawyer.
Okay.
So that's. So now I'm at what? I'm at 10.
You have $5 to spend.
Oh boy! I think I screwed up.
Well, you got to keep going with it.
I think. Oh boy, 5. So then that means I have to be. I either have to take Rosie O'Donnell or be deaf.
Yeah, you would, man. Yeah, you would.
All answers are final, so you're screwed.
So, Jared, you got $5 left, and you have to pick one wife and one health defect.
Well, it makes no sense for me to. I totally screwed up, so I'll have to live with the consequences. I guess I can't marry Rosie O'Donnell, so I have to take Adele, which means that I have to be deaf, which sucks because I couldn't
can't
even
hear her
listen to her sing.
Oh, dude, that's terrible. Yeah, that's bad, man.
I'm the first to admit that my list sucks. I put too much money, or I wasted too much money on where I live, apparently. But and I don't want to offend our deaf listeners who are listening, but being deaf has just got to be the biggest pain in the ass.
Yeah, it would be.
Jeff, if I could swap out deaf for mute, like say I could hear, but I just can't. Like say someone snipped my vocal cords as a baby, I think I'd take that option.
I'm telling you, man, the list is set in stone.
Okay, well, Gunnar, hopefully you can do better than I can.
Jared, before Gunnar goes, can you just give the last little roundup of your list for the listeners?
Okay, the roundup of my list. I live in Eden Prairie, Minnesota. I drive a Ford Pinto. I am a lawyer, so I bring home decent money. Married to Adele, but I can't hear her sing because I'm deaf.
All All right, Gunny, you're up.
All right, I'm going to keep this quick because I think I got it. Try to follow me. You ready?
Yep.
I'm a no-legged lawyer living in Eden Prairie, Minnesota, driving a hand bike, married to Blake Lively.
Oh!
Gunnar, here's my thing, though. Here's my thing. You drive to your lawyer job you ride your bike to your lawyer job in Eden Prairie. You know how cold and blizzardy and snowy it gets? You would never make it to work in your bicycle.
Lieutenant Dan did it.
Dude, can you imagine riding a bicycle in Eden Prairie in like January when it's negative 15 with like 20 inches of snow?
I feel like my law office and the courts would understand. Like, they would give me some specialty or like some sympathy because I have no legs. But then they'd be like, wow, you're married to Blake Lively. I don't feel bad for you whatsoever.
You're going.
I wasn't going to choose that I was going to be blind because then there's no point in marrying Blake Lively.
That's true.
I'm sure she feels nice, though.
Yeah. Well, I think a no-legged lawyer from Eden Prairie riding a bike married to Blake Lively's pretty good job, pretty good life.
No legs, huh? Wow.
I think you could have. You know, I'm going to critique you a little bit. I think you could have saved $1 somewhere and just settled with Anne Hathaway.
I think so too.
Yeah, she's pretty. She's really pretty. But then if you're going to save one, like you said, you got to save another one too because being blind doesn't really help you. So I get a Buick LeSabre. Can't drive it anyways. Got no legs.
Fair. I mean, you can hand drive it.
I could take the bus.
Oh man.
I think I won. I'm sorry.
Maybe I honestly think I like yours better than mine. But.
I like his, but I'm with Jared. I think you could have saved a point with Anne Hathaway and like maybe just I don't know. I would almost rather have no legs than be blind though. Now I think about it.
Well, I forgot it was your life, guys.
Yeah,
that's grabbing mine. So
Anne Hathaway looked pretty damn good in that Catwoman suit in Batman.
Do you want to do this, Derek? Do you want to do your list?
Well, I'm in a party, but yeah. Give me that notebook of yours, quick.
Okay, it's right here. Okay, so community, there it is right here. Hang on one sec, guys.
God
Keep
damn
track
it.
of my money.
Okay, you have $15 to build your life.
Okay, $15.
Sure, I'm not giving him much time. Like this, he's got to go.
Yeah, no, sorry. I'll go. Okay. So I'll go bald.
Okay,
Nice.
$4.
Pink.
Seven. Okay, no one's taking pink. Okay.
Lawyer. 11.
11.
Bicycle. 12. Peoria, Illinois. 15. That's
Not
off
bad.
of real thinking, so take that. Pink would be wild.
Pink could be wild.
I think Adele's a better value than Pink.
Yeah, I mean there might be some overrating in this list. I don't know. It's got human errors into it. I'll agree.
I mean, Pink sings too.
Pink, yeah, crap. She can sing, can't she? I forgot she is a famous singer, isn't she?
Anne Hathaway can sing too.
Really?
Huh. Was she in what's that movie? The cheer camp movie.
I don't even know.
You know what I'm talking about. Think.
Dude, I don't know. All right,
Yes,
anyways.
you do. Think.
Gunnar, I'm not even sure. All right, anyways.
It's perfect.
Oh, really? I don't know Anne Hathaway movies. Come on, Gunny.
I'll try it.
Okay, anyways. So moving past that segment, listeners, you guys are listening. If you have a list, or you have a list, or you even have answers to these lists, shoot me an email, shoot me a Twitter message. I want to see what you guys think as well. All right, so moving gears here. Jared, let's talk about things that make us mad this week. What's making you mad this week? Anyway,
Go first.
what's making you mad?
I'm gonna go ahead. Both these have to do with washing machines. First one is when it eats your quarters. That's probably one of the most annoying things. So you have to go back to your room or back to your car to go grab more quarters. Extremely inconvenient. The second one is so this is all dealing with public washing machines.
Okay.
When people leave their clothes in the washer and dryer forever and you don't know whether you should take it out or not, but then it's just such a pain in the ass.
Yeah, that would definitely be a pain.
So to sum things up, washing machines or public washing machines are my aggression right now.
Well said. All right, Jer. Now going off to you. Things that make us mad this week. What's making you mad this week?
All right. I was just kind of reminiscing with, I think, Andrew. And for some reason, Jeff, you got on topic. And we were talking about you and kind of how annoying you were and are. And what some of the things you did. Remember, I don't know if Gunnar remembers, but you hung around my place quite often senior year. Derek will remember this. Remember that 2-week period when Jeff got obsessed with drinking water? Derek?
Oh my God.
Drinking water.
Drinking,
Yes, Jeff, you carried that water bottle for two weeks straight, and you're like, yep, I'm going to fill this up 6 times a day.
And like, it's fine that you wanted to drink water, but you just like made it known to us every
He made it
single day.
publicly known.
Yeah, you were just like, oh man, I'm so healthy now. I'm drinking like 120 ounces a day, and then so that was kind of annoying. And then you would also remember how violently he would drink the water.
All day.
You would like your angle of attack of the water bottle was straight 90 degrees when the thing
It wasn't needed.
Yeah, and
That water bottle had a family.
I do not remember this habit I had at all.
Well, because it only lasted 2 weeks.
you got obsessed with telling us about how much water you drank, and then you had to tell us. You're like, this one drawback is me having to drink all this water. I have to pee all the time. And it's like, well, no shit, really, Jeff.
I don't remember this habit at all, huh? That's wow. I don't even drink any water anymore. I'm always dehydrated now. It's crazy. Times have changed, boys. Times have changed.
Hey, can I make a statement?
Yeah.
I need to publicly apologize. I confused Anne Hathaway with Anna Kendrick for the entire segment. So I'm still sticking with Blake Lively.
Okay. I can respect that.
I just thought I'd put that disclaimer. I just thought I'd put that in there. Sorry.
The good news is that you probably mistaken Anne Hathaway for probably a girl similar in attractiveness level. So it probably wasn't the most. It
wasn't the worst mistake I could make.
Yeah, no, it was like a 1-to-1 mistake, anyways. Okay, Jer, what else is making you mad?
I work at Boeing in Auburn, Washington, and it's a little bit of an older facility, so they're redoing the bathrooms that are closest to me. So I got to walk like an extra. So not even kidding, I have to walk probably 400, like a full all the way around the track once, like 400 meters to the nearest bathroom. And Jeff, yeah, it's because we're in a massive factory. It's a ways. And like Jeff, I'm at work kind of being a lazy bum. I figured, well, I might as well drink some water. So I have to pee all the time. And also, I've started drinking coffee. Holy orange, I got 1 ounce left.
And that's not good. That's not good on the excretory system.
Right. And as a new coffee person, I didn't realize how much it affects me. So what pisses me off is when I go there. So now it's there's 400 engineers. 97% are male, are cramming into this one bathroom that has 6 stalls for toilets. And the social situation that pisses me off is when you walk in and all the stalls are taken, right? But there's multiple urinals that are open. It's like you have to stand there and you have to look like the biggest idiot for who knows how long. So here you are. You're standing outside the stalls, just waiting. You don't know what to do with your hands. You're waiting in the bathroom. You're feeling awkward, and then somebody else walks into the bathroom, and they just see you standing there, and they give you this look. They're like, "Oh, I know what you're up to."
Yeah. Really, well, yeah, I'll one up you there. So yeah, you have to wait. You have to wait because then people are like, "Oh, he's got to drop a dude." Yeah. Then the guy gets out of the stall. You have to go sit on a hot toilet seat. It's warm.
It is warm.
Ugh.
It almost you almost get the look. That guy who just walks in, who just has to take a piss, but he sees you standing there because all the stalls are taken. He kind of looks down at you like, "I know what you're about to do, you dirty, piece of crap." What do you want me to do, man? I just drank a full cup of coffee, and I'm new to this. My stomach is turning.
That's good. That's good. I'm sorry, Jared.
Can we go around the room and get your opinion on hot toilet seats?
I just.
I don't know if it should be a known, or it should be a given for everyone that it's not comfortable.
It's kind of a dirty pleasure of mine, I think. Really.
Oh God, Jared,
we're done.
no,
We're done.
gross.
We're done.
I mean, I know it's gross, but it feels better than an ice cold toilet seat.
When I think of hot toilet seat, I just think of like the word used toilet seat. It's just like been someone else has just done shit to it. I don't know.
Give me a fresh, clean one out of the freezer.
I don't care. Yeah, I don't care if it's ice cold. I just don't want freaking people's butt germs all over it that aren't mine, dude. Ugh. There's a difference between a hot toilet seat and like someone's like chair that they were sitting in that's warm. Like a warm chair is not too bad, honestly. But a used toilet, like, oh my gosh. Oh, hard pass on that. Oh man, Gunny, what's making you mad this week?
I'm kind of in a good mood. I don't think anything pissed me off right now.
Happy Gunny.
Yeah.
That's good. So I have one thing.
That's bothering you.
I have one little thing that makes me mad. I've kind of had this like little home improvement kick the last couple weeks. I've been like going to Lowe's a lot for some reason. I've been kind of channeling my inner Eric for some reason. Well, anyways, like I went to Lowe's a couple times, and Gunnar, you came with me a couple times. What makes me really mad is the checkout people at Lowe's who know absolutely nothing about home improvement, like whatsoever. So like one thing, like we go up to the cash register, I like we're looking for like a bolt or something. Remember, Gunnar, we were looking for a bolt, and they have like that magazine that has like the sizes and stuff.
Yeah.
That we literally needed just one basic little screw, and that lady didn't even know how to use the book, and we literally ended up sitting there waiting for, what was it, 20 minutes maybe in the checkout line, because she had to call the other people and call this guy and this guy. It's like, I get it, you're just like a cashier, but like you should know where like your guys' products are. That just annoyed the hell out of me.
Well, and it's like, if I personally feel if I worked at the checkout at Lowe's, I could tell you if you brought me a bolt, okay, that's a half-inch long, I could at least get that, and I could probably narrow down, or I could get pretty damn close to what diameter or what size the bolt is. Or if you brought me, 6 1x4s, I could tell you that's a 1x4.
Yeah.
And half of them don't know the size of the wood.
Well,
so yeah, I know exactly where you're coming from.
They have like that book where you can like, they have like the little gauge thing. You can put the screw in there and like it fits. And she didn't even like know how to do that. And like it tells you what size it is. It's like, I don't know. That was super annoying. Jared, what else is making you mad?
That brings up the thing. I love the Parks and Rec. Ron Swanson is going through like the aisle, and the guy's like, "Can I help you with anything?" And Ron just turns it, looks at him. I know more than you, and then just walks up. I know more than.
Jared, what are your thoughts?
On that particular topic?
Yeah.
I'm just a little confused on why you're going to Lowe's and Home Depot that often.
I just have been on some home improvement kick. I don't know. I had to hang up my TV, and like we had to get some boards for that. I like made like a shelf for my hats. I don't know.
You don't own a home.
No, I don't. But I want to act like I do with this apartment. I guess. I don't know what it is.
I hear you.
Yeah, I hear you.
I see it.
All right, Jared. What else is making you mad?
I got written down hardos at the gym.
Okay.
There's just a guy, and it's mainly after leg press machines. There's a guy who like is way smaller than me, but he puts on 12 plates on the leg press machine and goes down a quarter inch, and he like makes a big scene here at my LA Fitness. He's the guy with the big water bottle. He's the guy with the wristbands. He's the guy with the beats, the over-the-ear beats, who's like bobbing his head to his 2001 Eminem. He's got the barbed wire tattoos. He's not a big guy at all, and he's just a hardo at the gym. I can't stand the leg press hardos.
Huh.
I feel I'd say the majority of average fitness males can put on a lot of weight on the leg press.
Yes.
I know I can, and I'm not that strong.
Right.
Leg press is super easy. And especially if you're going to go down, quarter or a half inch. Like, it's super easy to throw on that much weight.
But in my opinion, I think it's a really dumb lift. I think it's a really good way to injure yourself because people do put on way too much weight, and it really bothers me.
Yeah.
But they act like they're really tough.
Well, and you have the
agree.
people that throw on 13 plates and they do 1/2 inch rep. It's like, Yeah, like if you're gonna do leg press, like I think leg press can be good if say you throw on like 3 plates and you do like sets of 15 or something. Like I think that can be pretty solid. That can be very solid. But yeah, if you're doing 1 rep of 900 pounds, but you only go 1/4 of an inch, like all you're doing is just like causing more pain to your knees. It's pointless.
Right, just start squatting or something. Deadlift.
I mean, that's just gym.
Also at my gym, you know, since it's like a public gym, not like a university gym where, you know, I don't really know how strictly Iowa State enforced it, like the dress code policy, but I would say for the most part, people were dressed pretty appropriately. Sure in LA, this LA Fitness I go to, these girls, like, I mean, they're just walking around in like almost like just underwear and a sports bra, like, and which is, you know,
Jared,
what
I'm failing to see the problem here.
there's some fellow ladies who shouldn't be doing that.
Okay.
Like it, and like a lot of older women who are, you know, are very comfortable with their body, obviously. But
How old are we talking
maybe back
here?
in 1985, I could, you know, some of them I could even tell. I'm like, damn, I bet back in college you were a looker. But
How old are we talking?
You know,
How old are we talking
it's
here?
crazy what 30 years will do to a midsection. So.
Oh,
There's
man.
no filter on you today, Jared.
Why? What was so bad? What was so bad about that?
I don't know. That was great though.
It's nothing.
Oh man, that's good, boys. Jared, is there anything else making you mad? Otherwise, I'm actually going to end the podcast early because your boy JP's actually got to go to work here pretty soon.
Oh, well, shoot. Oh, I have a little bit.
Okay. All right, Jared, you give me one more thing and we'll save the rest for next week.
Okay, well, oh boy, I'll pick this one. So this is kind of a theory of mine, and I explained it to some people, and they thought I was crazy. And then they gave me the idea to kind of change the theory a little bit, and I think it makes now perfect sense, and I have this really good theory. Okay, I'll tell you the original theory though. The original theory was, imagine you as you are now, and let's say that you like actually die.
Okay.
And let's say you basically pull a Jesus Christ. You're dead for 3 days, and then you come back. My theory is, among other things that would happen, my theory is that you would be more desirable to women.
Absolutely. You've said this before.
They would be thinking that whole time, oh my gosh, Jared's dead. Like, I guess I never really gave him a shot. You know, I just kind of always thought of him as Jared.
Jared, you've said this in college before. I've heard this argument before.
Okay. And a lot of people thought I was crazy because they're like, no, you're going to think you're a zombie and you're weird and gross. Like,
No.
Well, that's not the point. That's not the point. So then I alter the theory, and I'm calling it the castaway theory. If you lived Tom Hanks' life, you actually got stranded on an island for 5 years, where people think you're dead, but you actually weren't
people
dead.
think you're dead.
You come back, and first of all, you have a badass story to tell. They're like, yeah, I threw spears at fish for 6 years, but I think you couldn't keep the women off you. I think it would be you would be a god.
I think so too, because you could tell people like, I survived death. Like, I know how to beat death. Like, you can say that.
But yeah, it's that. But the main premise of the theory is like, I think
Girls like miss ya.
They would be like, huh? They would kind of like, huh? Man, never really thought of Jared that way, you know. But maybe that's what I need, is that switch of them thinking I'm dead. So I'm thinking about you know, staging my own murder or something just to get the ladies going.
Jared, I think it's a foolproof idea. I mean,
Okay.
I think it's 100% success rate. I tell you this much, Jared. I have a couple people in mind. I'm obviously not going to say the names on air, but I can think of about 3 girls that they kind of like, huh? Jared gross, huh? Kind of had it going for him for a long time, honestly. Just never really gave him a shot.
Why didn't I see it before?
Yeah.
That's what they're going to say. Why didn't I see it before?
I can think of about 3 off the top of my head right now. So,
3, huh? Okay, well.
yeah, man.
Jared was looking more for that, like 15 to 20.
Yeah, I was thinking close to a baker's dozen, honestly. But,
Oh,
Yeah.
geez. Okay. Well, don't get aggressive there, Jared. I mean, come on. You are just Jared.
Gunnar, do you remember back when you were single, which isn't that long ago? I think it was actually close to the beginning of the school year. You had a very serious sit-down conversation with me, and you were like, Jared, I want an actual number. I want your honest number. And I'm like, okay. He's like, how many women that live in Ames, Iowa, could actually stand being with me. could actually
remember that.
Could actually stand dating me, and I could tell the seriousness in his voice and in his eyes. And I actually went down, got a pad of paper, and I did some just really quick, dirty mental math. And but I thought about it, and he had a number in mind, and I had a number in mind. And after doing my calculation, it was kind of it was just kind of a weaning out percentage process where this many of it. I came up with a hard number of I think I came up with 5.
Yeah, it was either 4 or 5. It was an extremely low number.
And I think your number was 3 or something.
Yeah, I was hard on myself.
Yeah, so out of the 45,000 people that were living in Ames, I came up with 5. You came up with 3, and
well, hey, I found one of them. So
yeah, you did. Yeah.
Man, Jana is definitely one of a kind.
Now you got a surplus, man.
yeah, now I'm just living. Now I'm just living.
Nothing to even do with the other 2.
Yeah, they can screw off. I don't need them.
That's funny. Gunnar, that's why we love you, kid. That's why we love you. Well, boys, yeah, that's pretty much all the content for today's episode. Gunnar, we got tailgating this weekend. Last little thoughts. How excited are you for this weekend?
It's like I'm going to college again. Oh wait, I already am. No, I'm super pumped. I'm super pumped up. It's gonna be fun, JP.
It should be fun. Well, boys, Jared, once again, thanks for stopping by. All that other stuff you had. What's that?
One last thing.
Yep.
Today is my dad's 61st birthday. Shout out to Jeff Gross.
Happy
Great
Jeff Gross. Happy birthday.
Hey, Jeff Gross, you listen to every single one of these episodes. I'm going to give you the shout out for the goodbye for today's episode.
I'm sure he would prefer it from you rather than his own son. Yeah.
He actually might, because Jared, who was the first person he followed on Instagram?
Apparently it was you. Yeah, apparently.
Jeff Gross, you have liked every single one of my Instagram posts. You have watched every single one of my videos. You have listened to every single one of my podcasts. You are my number one fan. You are what keeps me going. Happy birthday. Happy birthday, you young 61-year-old man. Happy birthday.
Love you, Dad.
Love you, Dad.
Trust the track. Let's go.
All right, boys. Well, hey, both of you, thanks for stopping by, and yeah, we'll get this going next week again.
Sounds good. See you, boys.
Thank you for listening, guys. That is all the time for episode 36 of Taking the Over. Yes, this is your boy JP, and as always, guys, we are 36 episodes through. We have a million left to go. So much football is coming in the future. You know, we'll be talking about that a lot. Another thing I want to let you guys know, one big thing I used to do with podcasts, I did a lot of sports gambling, making picks. I got a lot of great feedback from that in some of my earlier podcasts. Well, I actually decided every Tuesday I'm going to start doing a little 10 to 15 minute podcast solely based for, football picks, NFL, college, whatever it may be. I don't do a lot of, sports betting and other kinds of sports. I just do mostly football. So if you tune in every Tuesday, it's called Picks with the JP. It is on iTunes. It is on Google. We are in the process of getting on Spotify. So with this podcast and that podcast, you know how you do it, guys. Tell your mother, tell your father, tell your sister, tell your brother, tell whoever, tell your dog, anybody. Go to those platforms, Spotify, iTunes, all of them. Subscribe, rate 5 stars, tell everybody you know. And as always, guys, have a beautiful Friday. Let's kick off this Iowa State football season. And yes, have a great rest of your week.
Never gonna be another one, no. I followed, so taken, so conditioned I could never let go. Then sorrow, then sickness, then the shock when you flip it on me. So hollow, so vicious, so afraid I couldn't let myself see that I could never be held back or up, no, I hold myself. Check the rep, yep, you know my well. Forget the rest, let them know my hell. There and back, yet my soul ain't sail. Kept respect up, the best they fail. Let the rest be the tale they tell. That I was there saying, and these promises taken. Let